Jordan, do me a favor. Go on my altar and get my sage, please. And my that like piece. It look like a piece of wood. Get that for me. Hey Miranda. I would let you join, but I'm getting ready to do a very important video with my therapist. It's on my altar. And it's a skinny piece. It look like wood. I need that too, and I need a lighter. I love you too, Miranda. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Jordan. Hey, you did it the first time. That's what I'm talking about.
All
Boy,
right.
I need my I'm sorry. Let me get my production is just crazy these days.
I know,
Let
right?
me get my whatchamacallem, please. I need my the tray, like the ashtray. You see that leaf thing? The leaf thing, sorry. The leaf thing. Yes, thank you so much.
Messing with my camera. Okay.
All right. Just get this energy together. Um, First off, we the reason why I'm doing this live is because I started something a while ago called Women Empowerment Wednesday, and basically it was me acknowledging women who I admire for whatever, either what they do professionally, who they a hobby, whatever, just trying to shed some light. Oh yeah, everybody knows what the hell is. So
Okay.
shed some light on just women and acknowledge women. I don't think that we get a chance to do that a lot. And it's not about Mother's Day. It's not about anything but just another woman, seeing what another woman is doing and saying, hey, I appreciate you. I congratulate you. You inspire me. So that's what the basis of this is. But also, I'm an advocate for mental health, domestic violence, sexual abuse. So it's very important for me to acknowledge people in those fields. And you are a Black woman with your own practice. And so that's something to be said as well, because we don't see a lot of Black therapists. That's like, a weird thing. I remember when I was looking for a therapist and I was like, Black therapist. And I didn't care if it was male or female. And your picture was like popped up, and I went on your page. I went on your website, and you had a picture. And you sounded like this, like the people on Law and Order. And I'm like, that's my therapist. Her right.
That's me.
Yeah. So I was like, that's my therapist, and I'm glad I did, because you really helped me and
Thank
changed
you.
the trajectory of my life. So thank you for
So
that.
glad.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. For people who don't know you outside of my family and people who I talk to all the time,
Okay.
go ahead and kind of introduce yourself and let people know about, your practice, how long you've been doing it, so on and so forth.
Okay. Well, I'm Tiwana Bell, and I am a psychotherapist. I'm licensed in the state of Texas. I've been in practice. I've been in my field for more than 20 years, but I've been in private practice for 16 years. I own my own group practice. It's called the Enrichment Place. And now, due to COVID, we're able to do therapy all over the state of Texas for sure. Even gotten an opportunity to reach out to people in other states. So that's been pretty cool.
Right.
Because before that, you pretty much did it in your community. But
Right.
now that we're out of telehealth and stuff, we're able to get outside the community and reach a lot more people. So that's been pretty cool. And, they've kind of opened up licensing a little bit too. So that's been great. But so I own the Enrichment Place. And I'm trying to think of what else. I'm a mother of two. I have two
Mm-hmm.
girls. One is 20, one is 15. And yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, who I am. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I do specialize. Now, let me share too that
Okay.
you know, when you first start out in practice, you don't know what you want to do, so you kind of do a little bit of everything.
Right.
But over the years, I have narrowed down my specialty, and I specialize in anxiety and depression. So I see a lot of people who have mood disorders and anxiety issues throughout the day, and I also specialize in couples counseling. So it's kind of between the two.
Right.
I will see people as young as 9 or 10 years old if they have depression and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
But I primarily nowadays, because I done got a little bit older, so nowadays I see mostly teenagers and adults
Uh-huh.
who have these particular issues.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, a lot of couples and do a lot of couples counseling.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
So first, I printed out some questions for people that are watching. Print out some questions. Um, just kind of things that have been on my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that also things that people need clarity about. I think when you talk about mental health, there's so many things that are still kind of, we don't really know. We
Yeah.
think we know, or people call it this, and it's just, so I just want to pinpoint some things and kind of help people to get the help that they need when they need it. So one of my first questions is, how has COVID affected you personally and professionally? Well, you kind of touched on that. Now you're able to reach a broader audience
Yes.
because you're home now.
Yeah, now it has changed. It has changed business in some ways that, you know, because I run a group practice, so this is a business. And
Right.
so that changed a lot. We're in the office a lot less. Some therapists that were in my practice have elected to not come back because they don't want to take the chance of having to be in the office with somebody because, like I said, we are open a few days a week, and they just elected to go a different direction, you know, because it kind of makes you think about things a lot differently.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's changed a lot. I can't say it's necessarily been a bad thing because with COVID, you kind of do want to downsize a little bit. It kind of makes you want to downsize a little bit and take stock of things because, yeah, you don't want anyone to get sick or
Right.
anyone visiting to get sick, anyone that works there or anyone visiting the office to get ill. And even though telehealth has been around for a little while, it's really with it opening up so wide now and there being so many people who need it. I mean, just from one source today, I didn't take them all, but I probably got 15 referrals just
Wow.
from one source, just from
Right.
one insurance company. And, you know, you can't see all those people, but
Right.
you'd be doing this all day long.
Yeah.
so,
Yes.
so, you know, we've done, that's happened. So there have been some ups and downs, been some good stuff and some not so good stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
personally, I don't feel like it's been completely bad because once you start sitting at the house, you start seeing stuff that needs to be done. And you start spending
Mm-hmm.
more time with, you know, I got to spend more time with my 15-year-old and binge watch some TV with her and just
Right.
talk and play games, stuff like that. So it's been
Right.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
How about yourself, Miss Christy?
You know what? I was working 2 jobs and on this rat race, and it was a learning experience for me, but it also was the break that I needed because I had kept saying I just need a break, I need a break, I need a break, but I had things to do, and this kind of forced me to stop, take the time that I needed. The first week I slept a lot, because like I said, I working 2 jobs, sleep was like, no.
You need
2 jobs, 3 kids, what is sleep? So the first week I slept, but then after that, it's like I looked forward to it, to being home. I'm like, this is what it is. We're home. We're locked in. I order my groceries. I will only go out when I needed to. Okay, Amazon, thank you. And it gave me time to just be. And I don't think that we do that enough. Like we're so on this clock of we have to get here at this time. You know, all I had to do was get up and decide what are we going to eat today.
Yeah.
And that was the only pressure that I had.
So much simpler, didn't it?
Oh my God, like I miss it. They could shut this bad boy down again and I would be fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm here, like I said, the most important people were already in my home. So I didn't have to go out to seek anything. Exactly. And that was the biggest take for me to say, to realize everything you need, you already have.
It's right here.
Right. Everything outside is extra, but what's in here is everything you already need. So I honestly, outside of just being afraid, obviously for health reasons, I enjoyed it. I had a couple of days, you know, I had a death in the family and things like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, like it was fine, honestly. But yeah, so my next question for you is, do you think society is mentally stable enough to handle what's going on? Because it's like, it's so much. We're dealing with a virus, we're dealing with a corrupt government, we're dealing with police brutality, racism. It's just like, well, okay, you're being pulled in so many directions. So it's like, are we mentally ready to even handle all of this stuff right now?
No, we are absolutely not mentally ready. We weren't mentally ready before, but we were distracted.
Exactly. Okay?
We were distracted by work and finances and things like that. I mean, police brutality is not new by any stretch of the imagination.
Exactly.
A lot of the things that we, you know, government not being on our side is not new. You know, these are not new things, but at the end of the day, we were able to go, we had to go to work, we had to pay those bills, get those kids off to school. You know, we had stuff we had to do. And then once we sat down and we said, we had time, then all of a sudden people started noticing, well, giving more attention to stuff. And now it's like, okay, this is a problem. We need to pay attention. But if you ask me, are we ready? No, we weren't ready for COVID-19. You can tell that because people was upset they couldn't go, I'm not going to go get a haircut. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we weren't ready for it. We weren't ready for the stress and anxiety that we already had. People hadn't been dealing with the stress and anxiety. And then on top of that, they have to deal with the stress and anxiety of COVID and kids at the house that weren't normally at the house.
Oh, yeah.
Having to be school teachers when they weren't, you know, prepared to be school teachers.
Oh, Jesus.
You know? So, no, I don't think that we were ready for any of this. And we certainly weren't ready for, you know, having to protest and be out there fighting for some of the issues that were already present, but just became more apparent.
Right.
No, we weren't. I think that I know, you know, anxiety is one of the most profound mental health issues that are out there. People have anxiety, they don't even know it because they become so used to it. They become used to it. Yeah. You know? And so they have the symptoms of stress and they have the symptoms of having mood issues and stuff, and they don't do anything about it. You know? It just becomes normal everyday life. They just kind of push through. But then
because you got to go to work.
Yeah, push through. Got to go to work. And the same thing is even true with relationship issues. You know, I'm talking to a lot of, I was already talking to couples, but talking to a lot of couples who now they're stuck in the house together because they both working from home. And so because they're in the house together, they starting to notice, you know what, we have some marital problems. Well, you already take care of the problems. You were just able to kind of push through and take care of what you need to take care of. And now you can't get away from that. So no, I don't think that we were mentally prepared for any of this at all. You know, and I think that you can tell, you can see that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. People losing it. Yeah. So what are some of the warning signs for knowing when to seek help? Like we don't like, okay, for instance, me, you know, I had a breakdown, you know, but there were warning signs that it was coming. So, you know, but the breakdown forced me to, like, there was nowhere else to go. You gotta, you know, that's it. So in order I don't want people to ever have to go through that. Yeah. But so can you kind of give us some kind of insight on when do you need to get help? When is it like enough is enough? Don't let it, before it gets too bad. What is the thing that people can look at in their lives right now and say, you know what? I think I need to go talk to somebody.
Well, just be honest, most people probably could benefit from talking to somebody. But I
Right.
think that people let it go way too far, you know. When there's so many warning signs. I think that early warning signs are when you're starting to have some emotional distress. You know, when you start to have emotional distress and you don't have anywhere for that to go. You know, either you don't have a support system, or sometimes your support system doesn't know what to say or do. I think you have to pay attention to certain feelings. You have to pay attention to feelings of loneliness. You have to pay attention to feelings of just feeling all by just that I'm all by myself and that nobody cares. You know, that kind of, because once you start telling yourself that, there's no good place that's gonna go. I
Right.
think you need to pay attention to other cues. You know, like you're not sleeping. Say, for instance, your eating habits have changed, or either you're eating way more or you're eating way less. You're sleeping way more or you're sleeping way less. You know, these are cues that a lot of people just don't pay attention to. You know, there's so many signs, but I think whenever we start to see anything, because it just depends on what the issue is, but whenever we start to see anything out of the way, we're picking up habits that we don't need, or we're indulging in habits more than we normally would, you know. We irritable, way too irritable, going snapping, going off on people at the drop of a dime. Patience is worse than it normally would be. There are just so many different things that we do. Whenever you start to feel like you might need help and start to question it, you probably do.
Right. I realize I'm a stress eater, as told by my double chin. I am a stress. I realize that about myself, and this is when it comes. If I start thinking about, I'm like, I want a burger. I want a taco. And I had an orange today when I was in that mall. I said, you know what? Do not eat a burger. Don't eat 10 high wings. I ate
Look at you.
So add that to my list of issues. Okay, so.
But see, you were able to control it, though. You were able to control
because I see it's one of them things. It's feeling too good. You know, it's not just, okay, I'm hungry eating for nourishment. It's like, okay, I'm aggravated about something. I can't fix that, can't fix this, but I can eat. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to be rolling up out of here. So.
Look at you. I think people know when they need something, but they just start questioning whether or not they should get it. You know, they just start questioning, you know, is this really what, you know, I need to be doing? Or, you know, I mean, I know that's one of the questions is, you know, what's stopping people basically. But I think people, like, you know, inside of yourself when you need some extra help. And you just out and get it.
Yeah. And that brings us into our next question. Why do you think people don't take it seriously? Like, you know, there's silly videos about depression or anxiety, and I don't think people really grasp the concept that it is an actual disease, you know, and that needs treatment and maintenance and things of that nature. What is this? Why do you think people are they don't really take it seriously? Like, oh yeah, I'm sad, I might cry, or I might, you know, have a few panic attacks, but who doesn't? You know, where do you think that comes from?
Well, I think it comes from a number of places. A is that we aren't raised like that. You know, we're not raised to. We may be raised to go to the doctor and get some of our physical needs taken care of, but we're not raised to consider our minds as something that also needs maintenance. Something that we also have to keep healthy.
Right.
That is all part of our one body. But the truth is that the mind controls all of this. So if your mind tells you, it don't matter how healthy your body is, if your mind tells you can't get up out of bed this morning, then you're going to have a hard time getting up out of bed in the morning.
Absolutely.
You know? But that's one thing. Another, so we just haven't been raised to believe that this is an issue, that this is something we really have to take care of. The other thing is stigma. I think that's stigma is true across the board for any individual, you know, for any population of individuals, but it's particularly true for African Americans.
Yes.
We just have this, even now, it's better. It is better. You know, but we still have this idea that something's wrong with you, or you have to go get help.
Right.
Yeah, and then and in men as well. You see, women will reach out a lot more than men, and that just
Mm-hmm.
comes from men just not being in touch with themselves sometimes emotionally. So that's part of it. But the other thing is just that, are you manly if you go out and you ask somebody to help you? You know, just make yourself vulnerable that way. The other thing is that we're in denial.
Yeah.
Some people just want to, no, you're not strong if you don't push through. You're not strong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Just not knowing what to expect. You've been watching too
Mhm.
much TV, stuff like that. So you don't know, is that person going to judge you? Is that
Yeah.
person and that's not true. If you with a therapist that judges you, you're not with the right spot.
Absolutely. And that's a question too. We'll get to that because I think
Mhm.
people also feel like, you see the depression commercials where it's like the smiley face and it's the
Mhm.
girl walking around in the hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, it does look like that sometimes.
Yes.
I might walk around here in a funky bathrobe for a couple days or something like that. But it's also the people that are cracking jokes at work and smiling and, oh my gosh, she's so upbeat. And the next thing you know, homegirl done killed herself and everybody like, oh my God, I thought she was so happy. You know what I'm saying? It comes in
Yeah.
so many different forms.
Yeah, that's
And
just the mask. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So it's just, I think people they don't know how to see it. So they just kind of like make it, oh, well, I know I'm not like that. But
Mhm.
it's different. Some people, you could be depressed and be a workaholic because
Yep.
it stops you from having to deal with things. I'm busy. I
Mhm.
can't do it. I'm busy. I can't do it. That's not healthy either because you're
No.
not, taking care of, like you said, the mind takes care of everything. And if this is not right, eventually everything else starts to fall apart.
And eventually it's gonna crack. Everything's gonna break apart.
Absolutely.
All of that you thought you were holding together, it's just you're gonna blow at some point,
Oh,
and
yeah.
probably not gonna be in the best way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever had a patient that you felt like you could not help, like you tried, you pull all your tricks out and you just like, I don't see any improvement, you know?
Um. Yeah. I mean, I have. Well, because I'm just a facilitator for someone else's process, so they're only gonna be able to go as far as they're prepared to go.
Right.
Sometimes people believe they won't help, but they're just not ready to do the work. Like
Mm.
Jan will say, they're just not
Yeah.
ready to do the work that's necessary. And if you don't do the work, it's nothing that I can do that's going to make it better for you. So
Right.
you
You
have to do
can't do
your
it
part.
for them. Yeah.
I can't do it for them. Um, there have been people too that have, especially when I was doing more of a general population, which, like I said, I still do other issues from time to time, but there have been people that have come in with issues that were too profound for me to help, just to be honest. But
Mm-hmm.
now, I mean, I've been doing this a long time now. Like I said, I've been in my profession more than 25 years, actually. So I'm at the point now where if I can see that maybe you really need hospitalization or you really
Mm-hmm.
need something beyond me, then I'll be able to refer you on at this
Right.
point.
You're not so invested in the number of patients as to where like
No,
I gotta keep this X amount. Yeah. Yeah.
no.
That's
Well, I
very
mean, truth be told, there's plenty of people that need assistance, so
right.
I don't get caught up in that anyway.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that if somebody needs something that I can't give them, and there are some people I know my biases, so I know with some people I don't need to be having a conversation with because it's not gonna
Right.
work. You have to
Right.
know where the judgment starts and
Right.
stops. And so it's certain populations of people that I know are not for me to help because
Right.
I wouldn't be in their corner. Let's say
Right.
so. Yeah.
Okay, so why do you think people say that when you say I can't afford it, why do you think people say that? Why do people think counseling is like, oh my God, that's so expensive?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, counseling is expensive, but I
Uh-huh.
think it's also seen as a luxury.
Uh-huh.
For the longest time, the people who went and got counseling, as far as we knew, were people who had money.
Right.
If people who went to therapy were people who had money. You see them on TV on the couch and all that kind of stuff. Those are the people for the longest time. But now I think it is obviously more mainstream. More people are going to get it. But there are resources out there
Mm-hmm.
for this type of thing. And people have to look into those resources. You know, your
Right.
job, there's some resources on a lot of jobs, a lot of corporations and companies
Uh-huh.
provide employee assistance programs, you
Mhm.
know. And so people can reach out to their human resource department to see if that's available, if they don't already know about it. And they might be able to link them up with somebody. But there's also affordable resources in the community. There are agencies who do sliding scales. You just have to look into.
Yeah.
Usually in most counties of any major city, there's probably going to be like a county hospital or a county facility for mental health. And you can go through those. Some of those places provide excellent care for people too. You know,
Right.
people don't want to be stuck into that county program. And then a lot of your colleges have counseling centers, and they're
Mm-hmm.
all overseen by somebody who's fully licensed and highly professional. So the person you're seeing may be doing clinicals, but that doesn't mean that they won't be able to provide good care to you. And that care is also being overseen by somebody who is fully and completely licensed, and so
Right.
you get good care from it. And those are usually really inexpensive. You could go get maybe $10-15 for a session.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's really
Good.
affordable. So I don't want people to think that you can't go get counseling if you don't have an insurance. A lot of people don't realize their
Right.
insurance will cover it. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so how do you feel about medication? Now, just to clarify, therapists don't prescribe medication, but they
No.
can put you in touch with someone, with a psychiatrist who is
Mm-hmm.
licensed to write prescriptions for you. They can put you in touch with someone. But how do you feel about medication itself?
Um, I believe there's a line that people cross, and once they cross that line, they probably would best benefit from medication. That's the way I describe it.
Right, right.
Okay. But I'm not. I actually believe that there are lots of holistic remedies that are available for people too. You know,
Okay.
there's a lot of things depending on what the mental health issue is. There's a lot of things that people can do to in their changing their habits and behaviors. There's a lot of things they can add to their everyday regimen that can help them to have better control of their mental health issues. So
Right,
I don't think that everyone has to be on medication.
right.
In fact, if it's possible for them not to be on medication to move past it, if it is at all seems possible, then I'm not one to refer people for no reason.
Right.
But there is a place in mental health where it is more difficult. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it is more difficult to get back to be able to find stability. I guess
Mhm.
it is more difficult. It takes a lot more work for some people without medication. So
Yeah.
I'm not against medication. Yes, and you're right. You have to get the medication from a physician.
Right.
So a psychiatrist is an actual physician, and a
Right.
psychotherapist is not. Yeah.
Right. Do you believe that just because let's say a person, you have counseling and then okay to get on medication, do you believe that people should still do both?
I
Take your
do.
medication but still right.
100%. In fact, all studies across the board that I've seen and that are legitimate
Right.
show that the best treatment for most mental health issues that require medication is also require therapy.
Right.
So if you're on medication, you probably also need therapy. If you got so far that you
Absolutely.
need to be on medicine, then
Right.
you can't knock out knock therapy out of the boat, because there are
Right.
some things that you can do that can either help you to reduce the medication, or if your mental health problem is such that because some stuff has to have medication to be regulated.
Yeah.
Some stuff is just what it is. It's genetic. Nothing you can do to change that.
Right.
So if you're at that point and that's who you are, then you still also need therapy, because that means that you may be making choices and decisions and involved in behaviors that aren't helpful to you.
Right. And you
Definitely.
don't want the medication to become a crutch. You still
No,
have to develop, some kind of coping skills. Which leads
exactly.
me to the next
Mhm.
question. What are some kind of coping mechanism, let's say, for anxiety?
Oh wow, there's so many different ones, and I tell people to choose what really works for them, because it's kind of individual. But I will say, really, for anxiety and most mood issues are exercise. You
Okay.
know, as long as you get your heart rate up, what you're doing is reproducing some of the same chemicals that the medication is recreating for you. So a lot of times when you have those kinds of issues, it's really a little bit more complicated than that, because a mood disorder is also comorbid with anxiety, which means that they
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes exist together. I don't want to get too technical, but
Right.
oftentimes they exist together. And
Right.
so if you have one, you probably have just a little bit of the other.
Right.
But that's one thing. I see somebody said deep breathing, you were out, but actually
Yes.
that works for a lot of people.
Right.
You know, having some breathing exercise, but I say add some visualization or some relaxation exercises to your
I was
breathing.
gonna say that. I remember we did the visualization, and I
Mhm.
that's something that I still use to this day when I
Good.
just feel like I need to get away, in my own head to go to that safe place.
Yes, yes.
Even if it's for a little while.
Look at you. You remember the safe place, girl.
I do listen. I listen for the most part.
Yeah. So yeah, deep. If you're gonna do some breathing, I say add some relaxation exercises or some visualization exercises. Some meditation is good, and there are some
I
apps
got into meditation a couple years ago.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
meditation is excellent. There are also some ways you can add the meditation, like yoga is a meditative exercise. So if you're into things like that, like yoga, then you're exercising and you're meditating theoretically at the same time. You also can have things that you like to do. I had a person who was found out in the midst of their mood disorder that they were an excellent artist. They had never explored that, but it was a way for them to channel that energy into something positive. So having something positive to put that energy into and that inspires you can be really helpful. I'm a big believer, as you probably know, in affirmations. I believe that
Right.
tell yourself good
Right.
stuff, because
Right.
mind's already telling you stuff that's negative. So you're gonna
Right.
have to pour something positive into yourself.
I use that too.
Good, good.
I use that too.
Yeah. And I tell people, have some things that relax you, especially if you have anxiety. You want to have some stuff that relaxes you, like if you like a nice warm bath or a warm shower, a hot shower or something, and that's relaxing to you. Then you want to use that too. If you, it just depends on the person what relaxes them, just to be honest. But something healthy that relaxes you,
Something else.
something healthy that
Right.
relaxes you, you know.
Not recreational.
Yeah,
But
you want something healthy
okay.
that relaxes you. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we're almost
Mhm.
done. We have one more question.
Oh,
This
okay.
is one of the most important ones. What advice do you have for those who are seeking the right therapist? To be, like I said, to me, I feel like I got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you are a good listener. Like you take the time to listen. You don't try to push your thoughts on people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, you give the person the tools. And I always felt like it was my choice.
Mm-hmm.
Not like she said this, and if I don't do this, then I'm not gonna get better. You always gave me a choice and also created an environment for me to speak freely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very important for people as well. Many people who I talk to that are interested in going to therapy
Mm-hmm.
often feel like, oh, she's going to judge me or he's going to judge me. Or if I say this, that, they think, but I'm like, that's not what therapy is. And if
Mm-hmm.
you find somebody that is doing that, first of all, report them. And secondly, that's not the place to be. But like I said, for me, I always felt, I cursed and yelled and cried, but it made it, I was comfortable. I was
Mm-hmm.
able to tell the truth, even if the truth was ugly. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's very important when you want to get help to be completely bare and be completely transparent, because this is, you don't have time to put on airs and tiptoe around the subject. This is the place I might not be able to tell it to my friend or,
Mm-hmm.
my boyfriend or my mother or my sister,
Yeah.
brother, but I should be able to say it to my therapist, at
Mm-hmm.
least to get it out.
Yes. Well, you're absolutely right. You don't ever want a therapist that's too judgmental, because that's not what this is. I mean, we're taught, um, when we're training for this, that you want to be unbiased as possible. You want to know what your biases are. Like I said, I know who I can't work with, but you
Right.
also want to be as unbiased as possible. So you want to allow people, this isn't about what I think is right or wrong. It's not about my personal beliefs. This is about this individual getting the opportunity, like you said, to have that support that they need to get out what they need to get out, and to be able to share tools and resources that can help guide them along the way. So I'm
Right.
happy if you're looking for a therapist, and everything doesn't fit. Like my style doesn't fit with everybody. Sometimes people come to me and I'm just not for them, and that could be because some people want someone to tell them what. Like I will give you suggestions and I'll give you some guidance, but I'm not really like, if you don't do it, I'm not, And some people want people who are super direct with them and super rigid, I guess maybe I don't know what the word is that I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
but they want someone who's a little bit more like
I
authoritative.
don't need nobody rigid, because that's something that turns me off. So if I feel like something is forced on me, it could be the right thing, but I'm automatically going to do the opposite. Maybe that's a maturity thing, but I'm automatically like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people like that, but there are some people who want that that almost parental type, and
Right.
I'm not that person, so they're not going to get that from me. But I think that in order to choose a therapist, you have to choose. Don't be afraid to ask what you want. Like you said, you went to look for an African American therapist. If that's what you want, look for what you want. I think that try not to do like I have to be honest, it's real irritating when people try you on like shoes. That's irritating, because
Right.
I've been doing this a very long time. I've gotten better over the years, and once I specialized, I got even better at my specialty over the years. So
Right.
I feel like I don't need to be tried on, because I know I'm not going to send you down the road that you shouldn't be going down.
Right.
So reason for all of that, but I do understand that some of it comes from people's bad experiences. So I say, give your therapist a shot, give them a chance. Don't go to one session and go, and be just kind of picking at them or whatever. Give them a chance to get to know what their style is, and for them to get to know you and to be able to give you some direction. The other thing is, you may want to look for the type of therapy that they do, because some types of therapy, I do cognitive behavioral therapy, and that's really effective with my choice in clientele.
Right.
But if someone does something that's a little bit more, say, suited for, there are certain therapies that are suited for people who have substance abuse problems, say, for instance. Well, I don't see people who have substance abuse problems, so I don't have to hold them accountable like somebody who's a substance abuse therapist would.
Right.
So, you don't want to see somebody who has that style of therapy.
Yeah. Like if I say put the crack down, put the crack down. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're bad.
I'm crazy. But that's good. Like I said, don't try. You don't need to be tried on like shoes. Go in with the intention, do the process. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But be committed.
And don't give up. If you do come across a therapist that doesn't work for you, they are too judgmental, because they are out there. I mean, therapists are people, so it's like any other profession. You're gonna find some people that are pretty good at it, or reasonably decent. Some that are okay, and some that are horrible.
Right.
So if you go in and you see that this style is not working for you, or you honestly have given it a chance and this person isn't working for you, don't give up and say,
right.
I don't want to have to explain this to somebody else, or it's just going to go the same way. Give somebody else a chance, because you should be able to come across with little, within one or two therapists, I should say, somebody who's going to be able to be there for you and to help you with your issue. Pay attention to what they specialize in too. If they have a specialty. Pay attention to the specialty.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Bell. Like I said, you've helped me tremendously. Like I said, my niece was on here. She's like, "Oh, I heard so much about Ms. Bell. People know your name, they know your face." Now they do. So, thank you so much for that. And can you tell people how to reach you?
Well, you mean like give them let me just tell you, you can reach me on social media. You can always
Okay.
message me. I'm on Facebook, under T-Bell LCSW. That's 3 L's in the middle. And then I'm on Instagram at T-Bell_therapy. So you can reach me, you can message me through there. And I do get back to you. I'm also on Psychology Today. So if you go into
Okay.
Psychology Today, it lists all the therapists, and you can put in my name, Tiwana Bell, Tiwana Bell, and it'll bring me up, and it'll tell you exactly how to get in touch with me. But I'm also on Google. You can Google me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Googleable. And you can Google
Good.
my agency too, the Enrichment Place.
Right. It's legit, people. It's a real building. Promise.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah, no, most definitely.
yes.
So you can
But thank
Google
you.
it, and it'll bring up exactly how to get in touch with it.
Exactly.
You can
Very
call
nice building. Very nice office.
I
But
can
thank
get
you
my
so
office number
much.
on here, right?
Huh?
Can I get my office number on here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. It's 817-899-0306.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much for everybody that's on here. Thank you for watching. People that it's going to be up. This video's going to be up for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So if people didn't catch it, they can still catch it and get the tools that they need, get your information. If you are in the Texas area, but like she said, with the COVID-19 situation, she's able to reach you, with telehealth, right?
Yeah, through telehealth.
Yeah, through telehealth. So, if you can't find someone in your own state, then reach out.
Yeah.
Reach out, get the help that you need, and go from there. So, Ms. Bell, thank you so, so much for taking the time out to speak with me and help people and, give people the proper tools that they need. Because I think education goes a long way, and I think it's a lot of people are just scared. They don't know where to start. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know who to ask. So thank you so much for taking the time out to help, help people get their proper resources. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. And
Thank you.
Said hi. I'm not sure which one was your niece, but hi, niece. And, and thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I really
No problem. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, Ms. Bell.
You take care.
You too.
Bye.